Hi, this is Adam from the AM Podcast Network, and I wanted to shoot a video about kind of like what the AM Podcast Network is and really what the website is about. A lot of people, they don't really comprehend what's going on here, what's my intentions. So I'm hoping that this video will kind of help clarify that. First of all, AM Podcast Network is kind of uh, I don't know what you want to call it, a multi-prong approach to podcasting. That's some alliteration right there for you. Basically, I like to write. It's something I've done on the internet for 10 years solid. So it's a place for me to actually write, offer some tips, maybe just kind of vent or talk about what's going on in the podcast community. And you'll notice that down here, I have three different categories. Podcast coaching, kind of maybe where I give you some tips or vent a little bit about what's going on, kind of I give you something to think about, podcast how-tos, it's actually where I explain, something. For instance, maybe some cover art for your podcast or how to use SoundCloud with it or Audacity. And then the third column is network updates. This is basically where I just write about what's going on with the site, tell you if there's any news, if we've added anything, taken anything away. And then up top here, you will see the blog. That's where you can go through and see all the different categories. The link to the forum, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. And then here we have a couple categories of podcast shows. So I do a technology podcast. I do a couple comedy ones, and my friends also have joined me to do a couple of the podcasts as well. And then we have an AM Podcast Network samples. That's basically where other podcasters give me 3 to 5 minutes of their show, and then I kind of run them together as a sample show. Here along the side, you'll see how many people like us. We just started in December 2013, so we're only a few months old, and I've kind of let the site age. I've been just kind of been preoccupied with some main jobs and everything. So podcasting is still a priority for me. I just haven't been able to do it in the last month. So, and then below here, you'll see the top 5 posts. These are the posts that get the most action here out of Google or from social media. All right, so basically up front on the main website, you can read some of the stuff that I write and then some of the stuff that other people write. I haven't brought on any other authors yet, but I will reach out and allow people to guest post and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll see that in the near future. And then the other part of the main website here is actually listening to the podcasts that are part of the network. My goal is to have multiple niches and bring in several different shows and hopefully offer a lot of different content. So we'll see how that goes in the future. But for now, if you want to see any of our social platforms, we have Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, and Pinterest. And of course, you can follow us with the RSS feed. We'll move into the forum a little bit. That's where it kind of gets a little bit deeper. So let's get this thing open. So here's the community, and this is kind of like the heart of the entire thing. So I'm not logged in right now, so I'm not going to show you anything with my personal information on it. Just kind of a glance through of what we have. So here on the forum, there's so much here. So we have basically what you'd see in any other forum. You have different sections that you want to talk about marketing or, what the best microphone is, or maybe introduce yourself, or even have an off-topic discussion. Please make sure that you read the new rules and guidelines. And I also announce all the network announcements here. So down here, you're able to go ahead and list anything. You got a buy, sell, or trade forum. You can go ahead and announce any podcast events that you have. If you have a new podcast episode or show, you can go ahead and list it here. If you want to bring somebody in, maybe a free advertising opportunity, or you need a guest host, you can go ahead and put it here, exposure opportunities. And of course, here at the bottom, you can tell me if there's anything wrong with the site. So a lot of opportunities for not only podcasters, but listeners. And unlike a lot of, social media groups where they say, hey, no personal promotion, I actually promote it. You can have as much promotional opportunities as you want, as long as you do them correctly. And I built a section just for that. And then if you scroll up top here, another big area that we have is underneath our media tab. Now, if you go into the media section, you'll see that this is another opportunity for you to really plug your podcast. So whether you're on YouTube or SoundCloud, uh, putting your episode in here is really really easy. Up here up top, uh, basically all your media categories, you can put it in wherever you see fit. And then once you're logged in, you'll see a little tab here that says Add Media. You'll notice that underneath the recent playlist, I put 6 of my episodes from one of my podcasts here as a playlist. And you can add these. It's totally free. I don't want anything for it. I just want you to use the website and hopefully take advantage of the traffic that comes through. You'll see, since I've added this about 2 months ago, we've had almost 800 views. I assume some of them are from me. But the more content that's in here, the more traffic that comes and checks this thing out. So by all means, if you're a podcaster or you're a listener of a certain show, put it in here. I mean, it only takes a minute. I think I can list a show in maybe like 20 seconds. And hopefully you'll hit the trending section or a popular section. And it's pretty easy to hit the recent media. You just got to be the last one to upload something. And then, of course, any serious podcasters with the long-term show should be able to create playlists, and you'll be able to edit everything after you put it up. And then the final section that I think is worth noting is underneath podcasts. So much like iTunes, we also have a full review section. So if your podcast is listed, it's listed, and hopefully people will review it. And then you can address comments on there. You can also list your show. You can see that we have all the categories. Currently, we have 331 shows listed in 16 different categories. And each show gets an image. And then you can tell us all about your show. People can put more images up there. You can see my top contributors here. And then here on the right-hand column, you can see the most recent shows added. And you can also see the popular shows. So you can see mine's number 2. So there. I don't know how this one got more popular than me. I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with that. So here on the podcast screen, you can also see most recent, top rated, most popular, and latest updates, and of course an alphabetical list. So let me go ahead and find. Let's go to the most popular. I'm gonna get another click on mine because that'll put me above. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so here's a great example of what the average person sees on here. And when you log in, you see the title, you see the category, when it was created, and by who, and then general information. So if you're a podcast and you want to get your show in here, it's great exposure. I mean, it's absolutely free. You can put your summary, you can put whatever you want, your description here. Make it, if you want it to be your own Wikipedia page, then so be it. And then the best part for any podcaster, which this is ridiculous, I even allow this, but I'm doing it anyway. You can put all your links to your stuff. So Facebook, Google+, iTunes, Spreaker, YouTube, website. And then there's like, I don't know, something like 10 or 15 more options that I haven't filled out. So ridiculously awesome. You got to get your stuff in here if you don't already. And if you're not registered in here and people start commenting on your stuff, you got no way to engage in our community. So definitely register if you haven't already. And of course, image gallery. Right now, I just have the album cover, and I can add something like 20 more, pictures if I want. Probably more than that. And then here on the right side, you see all the different information. Who, what, when, where, the average rating. You can see all the show information. So this show was created December 21st, 2013. It's current. It is explicit because I like to put naughty words in my stuff. And then where I am actually recording this. And then, of course, you can see more stuff that I've added. As those people that actually do this podcast join, I will transfer rights over to them, and then they'll have it. So, and then you can share this page as much as you want. And it's, so a lot of freedom. I mean, I'm giving away the house, basically. If you have a podcast and you're not promoting it on here, you're missing out, because I do have traffic. I have analytics that prove it. In the last 30 days, we've had almost 500 visits. And some of those visits could have gone and listened to your stuff. So that's kind of the overview of the AM Podcast Network website. And in future videos, I'll get a little bit more in depth. So I appreciate you watching and listening to me. And I hope this kind of convinces you to come on out, check out what we got, and see where we can go. All right, till then, I'm Adam from the AM Podcast Network.